Hey guys, what's up? Murder of Birds here. Welcome back to the channel, and for this video, we got some very exciting RWBY video game announcements this past weekend that could possibly be a game changer for the future of the RWBY series. No pun intended there as well. So for those of you out there who may not know, this past weekend was the Evolution Championship Series, or EVO. EVO is an annual fighting game tournament held by, tournament organizers and such, centered around esports for competitive high-level play of a variety of different fighting games. You have Tekken, Street Fighter, BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, Super Smash Bros., King of Fighters, etc., etc. It's a massive annual event that kind of brings the fighting game community together, embracing each other's fighting skills and talents for cash prizes, thousands of attendees and stuff like that. It's a really great event. It's a great spectacle to watch, like on Twitch and stuff like that. And I tend to be a viewer every year, mainly for the Super Smash Bros. Combative side of it, because as I do enjoy the high-level play of fighting games, I am not a big fan of fighting games myself. However, after the tease at the RTX Austin RWBY panel that RWBY would be somehow making its appearance during EVO, I decided to watch every single tournament, every single pools match, every finals, every losers bracket, every grand finals, in the hopes of at some point during the weekend we'd get something regarding RWBY announced. I watched everything, and well, just watch this clip here.
これも可能性かよ。なら全員ぶっ飛ばすだけだ。面白いじゃねえか。見せてやるよ。青の力を。さあ、行こうか。この戦い、負けるわけにはいかない。邪魔をするなら片付けるまでだ。まだ終わりじゃねえぞ。 全員まとめてかかってきな
BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Now hang on just a minute. This looks interesting. Mind if I join the fight?
So really quick before I get into anything else, for those of you who are wondering, no, I did not record my reaction to that trailer initially when I watched it live during EVO. That was mainly because I have been sick for the past couple of days. It was only yesterday, Monday, that I was able to actually get back to 100%. So Sunday I was sick, I was watching it. Like I said, I watch EVO every year, mainly for the Super Smash Bros. Bits, but I was watching EVO at my friend's house. I was still kind of sick, and I just wasn't home at all to do any type of reaction. So it was a very short reveal too, but it's so cool. RWBY is actually branching out so much more into the video game scene beyond just RWBY Grim Eclipse. It's actually gonna be in there with Persona, BlazBlue, Under Night and Birth. It's so freaking cool. It's so awesome. And while I don't have my own personal reaction, here is a clip of the crowd reaction to, like, look at their reaction to everybody else being included, and then just look at their reaction to RWBY being announced. So it is confirmed Ruby Rose will be featured as a playable character in the new BlazBlue cross-tag battle next year, along with characters from Persona 4 Arena, as well as Under Night in Birth, and the BlazBlue series, which is so freaking awesome. At the moment, that's just the teaser trailer, but there's no other mentions of any other characters from the RWBY series, but we have an entire year for updates, so anything is still possible between now and the actual release date of it. Hopefully we get Weiss, Blake, and Yang to complete the Team RWBY team, because I do feel like Ruby, Weiss, Blake, and Yang would be the best representation of RWBY. First off, the show is named after them. They are the four main girls of the story that's focused around them and their friends and stuff like that. And it's just great representation and great promotion for the show in general. So I'm really looking forward to it. Ruby Rose is the only one that's confirmed, and that's so great. And I know a lot of people out there who are hyped to pick up the game, myself included. And at this point, I kind of want to strike a discussion with you guys on what you think about this collaboration. What do you guys think in terms of RWBY being in a fighting game style? I personally am of one of two minds of this. I feel like it's great on both ends. The first aspect of the discussion that I want to bring to you guys is I feel like this is a kind of quote-unquote experiment for Arc System. So like I mentioned, Arc System is a very prominent fighting game developer. They have developed BlazBlue, they developed Guilty Gear, and what's really interesting about this crossover is that excluding RWBY, Arc System Works has made a game on all of these franchises. Like I said, they've made all of the BlazBlue games. Persona 4 characters are going to be featured in this crossover, but they also made a Persona 4 video game called Persona 4 Arena, which was a fighting game, and then like the extended version, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. And then they also developed the Under Night in Birth fighting game as well. So Arc System is kind of like the head honcho of leading this entire crossover and all of the extra assets aside from RWBY. So I think RWBY, maybe this is kind of like, this would be kind of a cool way to experiment how the FGC, how the fighting game community takes RWBY, how they handle the character, how the characters transition from, you know, just being animated, you know, for like an animated show, and you know what Grim Eclipse has to offer in terms of being a video game, and seeing how the RWBY characters meld into a fighting game format, because I feel like this could be a potential for Arc System to pick up RWBY, you know, to pick up the license by Rooster Teeth and to make a standalone RWBY fighting game. I know that's what a lot of people were initially hoping for. I think the hype is kind of is a bit damaging when it comes to people just thinking way outside of the box when it comes to that. Personally, I was hoping for a fighting game, a standalone fighting game as well, but this is like baby steps. You know, you have to take baby steps, you have to see how things develop and how things grow, and more importantly, how the fighting game community is going to handle RWBY representation, you know, if it's popular enough, if people demand it enough and stuff like that. But the biggest thing and the most exciting thing I'm happy about is the fact that this is a great form of collaboration, both for fighting game fans and for RWBY fans. Case in point, myself, right? So I am a massive RWBY fan, you guys. It's no secret to anybody here on the channel. What I'm not really a big fan of, like I said, aside from Super Smash Bros, because I feel like that's kind of like a sandbox fighter, I'm not really a big fan of fighting games. I'm not that great at them, I will admit, and I feel like it's because of my lack of patience and my lack of being able to understand and dedicate a lot of time to fighting games. That's why I never really give them a chance. This game is giving me that change of heart. I'm actually going to be getting the latest BlazBlue game, BlazBlue Central Fiction, and I'm going to be, over the next year, learning the fundamentals of the BlazBlue format, learning how to play fighting games. I have friends, close friends of mine who are big fighting game fans who are going to teach me and everything, in the hopes that when that new game comes out next year, I'll be able to play as Ruby Rose, and maybe, fingers crossed, any other potential RWBY fighting game, you know, slots that are there for any RWBY representation, which would be freaking awesome. But yeah, like, this is actually getting me, a non-fighter but a fan of RWBY, into the fighting game scene. And then it's the reverse, because people who are already looking to pick this game up, characters, like, when you do collabs like this, it's always the characters that will drive sales, right? So or drive interest, or drive collaborations and stuff like that. So you have people in the fighting game community who probably have never heard of RWBY before, might pick up RWBY as a fighting character, might like her fighting style, might like her aesthetic, her design, her, you know, her voice, her appearance, whatever, and they'll be like, where's she from? Oh, she's from this show called RWBY, and boom, they get right into the source material. They start watching the show, they start buying merch, they start becoming a fan of RWBY itself, aside from just a fighting game fan. So I think it's great on both ends if they're experimenting in the future for a potential standalone game, or, you know, like I said, just melding both factions, you know, of a fighting game faction and then, you know, the animated standalone Rooster Teeth property of RWBY. So yeah, that's the big announcement. RWBY is going to be once again upgrading to the fighting game franchise of BlazBlue next year for this crossover game, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. I will be picking it up. It'll probably be on PS4 and Steam at least, probably Xbox One as well, or whatever consoles are going to be out by next year. But yeah, I just wanted to bring you guys that information. For those of you out there who didn't know, leave me your thoughts. What did you guys think about this trailer? What did you guys think about the announcement? Are any of you guys planning on picking up the game? Are any of you guys actually fighting game fans? Because I feel like everybody who's going to be watching this is probably a RWBY fan already. So are any of you guys planning on picking it up solely because of RWBY? Are any of you guys planning on picking it up regardless? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you guys again for the support. Leave me your thoughts nonetheless, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.